The Great Pyramid of Giza weighs over 6 million tons. The people who built it had no cranes, no steel, no hydraulic machines, and here's the part that shocks most people. They didn't even have the wheel. So the question isn't how old this pyramid is. The question is, how is it still standing? Some of these stones traveled over 100 kilometers to get here. Let that sink in for a second. 2.3 million stone blocks, each one weighing an average of 2.5 tons, some as heavy as 80 tons, and all of it built within a single generation, in roughly 20 years. That means day or night, every 5 minutes, a new massive block was locking into place. Modern engineers still scratch their heads over that timeline. But size was only the beginning. The real mystery is something else entirely. In 1990, just south of Giza, archaeologists found a cemetery. Not a royal tomb, but a burial ground for laborers. Among them was a man, likely between 30 and 35 years old. His spine showed clear signs, years of intense physical strain. There was no gold in his tomb, just a simple burial with tokens of bread and beer, part of what most of his wages. This man was not a slave. Perspective 1. Slaves built the pyramids. This idea came from Hollywood movies and from the Greek historian Herodotus, who visited Egypt 2,000 years after the pyramids were built. Evidence supporting this. Herodotus's 5th century BC account describes enslaved masses to oiling under the pharaoh. Evidence against this. Worker cemeteries show proper burials, food ration records, and even medical care, none of which was typically afforded to slaves. Perspective 2. A paid, organized labor force. Evidence supporting this. Papyrus records, like the Wadi al-Jarf logs, document workers receiving rations of bread, beer, and meat. Historians call this system corvée labor, a seasonal rotation where farmers, unable to work their fields during the Nile's annual flood, were assigned to state projects instead. Paid, fed, organized. Think of it like an ancient national service program, where your job wasn't just to build a pyramid, but to contribute to your pharaoh, your faith, and your nation. So coming back to our story, if these were paid, organized workers, how did they defeat physics itself? The oldest theory, a single straight ramp. But the math doesn't work. A ramp that long would have required more material than the pyramid itself. Then in 2018, one discovery changed everything. Those stones had traveled over 100 kilometers. At the Hatnub Quarry, deep in the Egyptian desert, archaeologists found a steep ramp flanked by 2 staircases and a system of wooden posts. Source: French-Egyptian Mission, Hatnub Excavation, published in Antiquity Journal, 2018. Workers looped ropes around these wooden posts, meaning the force needed to haul a stone sledge was suddenly cut dramatically. And then, one more clue. A tomb painting showing a worker pouring water onto the sand just ahead of a moving sledge. In 2014, physicists in Amsterdam decided to test it. Dry desert sand requires nearly double the force to drag a sledge across. But add the right amount of water, and the sand particles bind together, friction drops, and that same sledge glides with half the effort. Think of it like a wet sandcastle. Dry sand crumbles apart, but a little moisture makes it strong enough to hold its shape. So ramps, ropes, and water, together, they start to give us an answer. But one mystery still remains, and ramps can't explain this one. The Great Pyramid is aligned to true north within just 0.05 degrees. Modern buildings, even with GPS, rarely achieve that level of precision. But they had no GPS. No compass, either. Egyptologists believe they used the stars, specifically, 2 circumpolar stars that never dipped below the horizon. 2 wooden sticks, a plumb line, and patient observation of the night sky. That's all it took. This wasn't an accident. This was a civilization that learned from its own mistakes and refined its methods over generations. That same worker, whose grave we saw earlier, maybe he too stood there at night, alongside his crew, watching those same stars, exhausted, but working towards something bigger than himself. And that purpose built something whose full secret we still haven't uncovered. In 2017, a technology called muon tomography, essentially cosmic ray imaging, detected a massive hidden void inside the pyramid, a cavity the size of an airplane. What is it for? No one knows. Are there more hidden chambers? A passage that's never been opened? This is a 4,500-year-old building, and we still haven't unlocked all of its secrets. So let's turn that question over to you. What do you think? Is this purely a triumph of human engineering? Or is there something about it we still don't fully understand? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. So what do we actually know? We know these were paid, organized workers, not slaves. We know they used ramps, ropes, and wet sand with surprising engineering intelligence. We know they aligned the structure to true north, using nothing but the stars. But we don't know what's inside that hidden cavity. We don't know how many more secrets are still buried beneath the sand. Maybe the Great Pyramid's greatest secret isn't how it was built. Maybe it's this, that 4,500 years later, it still stands as proof there's no real limit to what human ambition can achieve. 4,500 years later, it's still standing and still asking questions.